we still faithful. I'ma put it all on the table. We forever faithful. Yeah, we still faithful.
What's up, 49er faithful? I'm JD. You're tuned in to Keeping the Faith. And Monday was a very busy day down at 4949 in Santa Clara as the San Francisco 49ers began phase one of their offseason program with players descending upon the 49ers facility today for the first time this offseason. We also saw 49ers general manager John Lynch speak with the assembled media in his annual pre-draft press conference, along with quarterback Brock Purdy and linebacker Fred Warner. However, the news of the day came before many 49ers fans had even gotten out of bed this morning, as the news broke bright and early that the San Francisco 49ers and left tackle Trent Williams agreed to terms on a revised 2-year contract worth up to $50 million, including $37 million in fully guaranteed money for the soon-to-be 38-year-old left tackle. Now, how all this shapes up and breaks down for Trent Williams is as follows. In 2026, Trent Williams will receive a $22 million signing bonus along with a $1.3 million base salary, equaling $23.3 million coming Williams' way this season. That leaves a carryover of $13.7 million, which will hit the books and Trent Williams' wallet in 2027. And the way it's kind of shaping up tells me that we were going to be doing the same song and dance next year, because the 49ers, at least according to John Lynch, are of the opinion or of the thought that Trent Williams will be in the fold with the 49ers through the 2027 season. And then, we'll see what Trent Williams decides to do from there. But they are of the belief that Trent Williams will be playing the next 2 years. And I can't see Trent Williams playing in 2027 for just $13.7 million fully guaranteed. I don't see that. But let's not dwell on what hasn't happened yet. We'll talk about that when it gets here. The news of the day was Trent Williams and the Niners finally agreeing to terms on this deal. It's huge for the 49ers. This has been a dark cloud over the Niners offseason, with many wondering if the team would be looking to explore potentially trading the future Hall of Famer this week, with the NFL draft coming in just a few days. But not to worry, that's all done. The Niners will have their left tackle in the fold this season, and now the 49ers can approach this NFL draft with an open mind, with a clear head, and it'll be all systems go come Thursday when the draft kicks off. But a couple other little minor details with this Trent Williams deal. It does free up roughly $20 million of additional cap space for the team, and now the Niners have roughly $40 million to play with, and we'll see what happens post-draft if they're not able to, acquire all of the talent at specific positions that they're looking for, and we'll see if they want to attack the veteran free agent market post-draft. But like I mentioned, the 49ers believe that Trent Williams will be playing for the next 2 seasons, and that is going to have to factor in to how the 49ers approach this week's draft. And let's just get on into it, because it is officially draft week. The draft is in 3 days. It begins this Thursday, April 23rd. The 49ers, we all know, have the 27th overall pick in the first round, and they could go a number of different ways that have all been discussed ad nauseum to this point. They can go with an edge rusher, a wide receiver, potentially a guard, or maybe the left tackle of the future if the 49ers so choose. There's been speculation they could go after a safety. But coming into this week, if you're listening to all the draft experts, the Todd McShays of the world, the Mel Kipers, Daniel Jeremiah's, the list goes on and on. There seems to be a bit of a consensus, at least coming into this week, that the 49ers, and all the smoke and all the tea leaves that the draft experts are hearing and reading, the Niners apparently may be circling their wagons on offensive tackle Caleb Lomu out of Utah, because that seems to be the general consensus among the draft community as we approach this week's draft. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't buy it. I don't buy that the 49ers are going to draft a left tackle who is not going to be playing left tackle for the 49ers, at least for the next 2 seasons. Caleb Lomu is a left tackle by trade, and I don't like the idea of making a square peg fit a round hole and having Lomu play out of position for the next 2 years until Trent Williams decides to hang him up, and then we just slide Lomu over to left tackle and you have the heir apparent. I don't like that idea. And the reason I just don't agree with this sentiment, and I don't think that that's the way the Niners are going to go, is because by signing Trent Williams, it signals to me that the 49ers are trying to win now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have signed Trent Williams for this new money. They would have traded him somewhere else, gotten some draft capital, and been on their merry way. But they kept Trent Williams in the fold for a reason, and that's because they want to win now. And so I don't see the 49ers drafting a player who is not a natural guard and forcing him to play guard for 2 years and then later on move over to left tackle. If you want to draft a guard, just draft a guard and deal with the left tackle problem in 2 years when it becomes a problem. It's not a problem right now. He's in the fold. He's under contract. You also signed Verdarian Lowe this offseason to be your backup swing tackle. The Niners are fine at that spot. And drafting a player and playing him out of position for the next 2 years makes zero sense to me. So I don't buy into the smoke that the 49ers will be drafting Caleb Lomu at 27 overall. It just does not make much sense to me. And if you listen to John Lynch today in his pre-draft presser that he does every single year, he said it himself that he believes Trent Williams will be here for the next 2 years. He also said that the 49ers don't really have any glaring weaknesses and they can go into this draft going after the best player available. So we'll see what happens. Perhaps Caleb Lomu will be considered the best player available when the 49ers are on the clock. But I am of the opinion that if you want a guard, just draft a guard. You don't need a tackle right now. And I really don't think the Niners are going to draft Caleb Lomu when it is all said and done. Some additional things that John Lynch hit on that I wanted to discuss. He said that the 49ers have had some conversations with multiple teams about a potential trade for Brandon Ayuk. However, a trade during the upcoming draft weekend is unlikely. I don't see a team trading for Brandon Ayuk because they know that when the 2026 season comes around, the Niners are going to have to cut bait before his roster bonus comes into effect at the end of August. They also feel, according to John Lynch, the 49ers, that is, they feel that edge, O-line, and wide receiver are all very talented positions in this draft, and they're also very deep. And so that works out for the 49ers because those are actually some of the Niners' biggest areas of concern heading into this season, and it allows the 49ers to go at pick 27 in the first round, pick 58 in the second round. They can go into it with an open mind and truly go best player available also at a position of need. So it works out for the Niners this draft, in my opinion. We also had some remarks from Brock Purdy and Fred Warner today. My biggest takeaways there, Brock Purdy said that the toe injury he suffered last year has been healing up nicely. The time off has done him wonders, and he's going to be good to go. No worries there. And then, of course, linebacker Fred Warner coming off of the broken and dislocated ankle that he suffered during the 2025 season. He is all healed up from that. No restrictions at the start of the offseason program. He is full systems go. So that, of course, is good news. But Niner fans, I got to know, what do you think about how the Niners are going to approach this draft now that they have Trent Williams in the fold? Various mock draft experts, whether it's, Pro Football Talk or Todd McShay or Mel Kiper or Daniel Jeremiah, several mock draft experts have the 49ers selecting Caleb Lomu at 27, but I don't buy it. I think it's a smokescreen. It doesn't make a lot of sense for the 49ers. They're not going to draft a guy and either sit him for 2 years because there's, no room for him to play. He's not starting over Trent Williams or Colton McKivitz, or you're going to play him out of position. And I think Lomu could stand to get a little stronger and a little more stout before we even entertain the idea of playing him at guard. But if you're the 49ers and you want a guard, just draft a guard. Niner fans, what do you think? Are you excited that Trent Williams is in the fold? Are you hyped up for this upcoming draft? Leave your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm so glad it's draft week.